Hello, and welcome to Conversations for the Soul. Hello, and welcome to Conversations for the Soul, one good sip at a time with Dr. Angie and Yashica B, the Motivator. We are live here with you today, and we hope that you will join us. We ask at this moment that you like, share, and subscribe. And we would also like to point out that this is the show where real women have real conversations about real issues, and we are not afraid to use real talk. So please join us right now, if you would, by telling us where you are tuning in from in the chat box, and we will go from there. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to this delicious conversation. As you know, our conversations can be savory and they can also be sweet. So tune in and let's see where this conversation goes. Yashica B, how about if you address the audience?
Okay, well, what's today? Sunday? We've been missing in action for a little while. Happy Sunday, everybody. Glad to tune in, glad to be here with you. Thank you for liking and sharing. So today we're just going to dive into this just basic conversation because we're coming back. But one thing I do want to do is get some housekeeping rules. We were missing last week, not totally missing, but out of the pocket because it was Memorial Day weekend. And as you've noticed so far, most of the holidays we do not come on air. And if it's a holiday weekend or the holiday following, we don't come on air. We always follow up after the fact. So we do want to let you guys know that we're not just skipping out on you, but those are some things that we do. And what Angie and I have found is that gives us time to self-care for ourselves because we run a lot, both being mothers, both being professional women, both having so many different hats. And then to add our show on top of that, we want to give our best and we want to be our best for any aspect of life that we are tackling. So that allows us time to back up, smell the flowers, sip the coffee slow, and enjoy life for just a tad bit. So thank you so much for bearing with us as we are still working out our kinks of the show and trying to, just trying to get to a common and basic normal, So thank you for that tuning in. Just a second, and I want to share it to my page. I think I got it there. Yeah.
And
Okay.
yes, and
So,
that Yashika, you brought up a very good point, and that is the self-care point. And we have been making it in a practice of ours to make sure that we are practicing what we preach. And we tell people to take care of themselves all the time. Self-care is crucial. It is important. It is not selfish. It is selfless because you cannot take care of anyone if you are not well. So it's important that we take the necessary steps to make sure that we stay well. And it's so easy to just slip into a funk, easy to slip into just not feeling well, not being yourself. It's very easy to happen if you do not take the proper steps to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. So we encourage you to do that. But we also recognize that we have to walk the walk and talk the talk. We can't just talk about it, but we have to do it. So we thank you for being patient with us as we take care of ourselves, and we encourage you to do the same.
Yes, we can't just talk about it. We also have to be about our business as well. And with that being said, it's also when we think about being in a box and being controlled, at some point we can be controlled by certain things. But if you move, and do, your life gets out of control and you're not controlling it. You kind of like we talked about before, living a defaulted life and not necessarily designing it because now you're in the rustle and the bustle. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to be here, you got to be there, you got to do, and it just gets away from you. So it is important that we have to have self-care. And when we are two of the most, we fight ourselves all the time on our paradigms and being comfortable, but some things that we do have to shake. But at the end of the day, we definitely want to make sure we practice self-care and we practice what we preach.
Hello there, Miss Pratibha Day. We see you. Thanks for joining us.
Because I can't see anything on my side.
Yep, she joined us.
Probably because I shranked it. Okay, yeah. Now I can't. Actually, I was widescreen. So, Angie, over this last week or so, what has it been like for you? What have you been doing to self-care?
Well, I can't say that I've been like specifically strategic, other than I have been taking it easy. I did have a couple of speaking engagements this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and this week. And speaking of which, I just want to give a shout out to the American Baptist Women's Ministries through the
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Baptist Association. I had the honor and the privilege to show up as their keynote speaker for their annual spring gathering. And I really enjoyed myself. I got a chance to really dig in deep with the idea of us pivoting from our COVID situation. And we all must really take time out to pivot. And this was a good opportunity to do that and to share with ladies, how do we do that? How do we pivot when things don't go as we expect, when things are not going well? How do we pivot? So I had an opportunity to speak on that subject. And in preparation for that,
Mm-hmm.
it was a really good refresher to go back and look at the things that help us to pivot when it's necessary. And one of them is certainly walking in your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
When we begin to just really get into our purpose, and our purpose sets up boundaries for us. Our purpose is our guiding light. It is, our beacon of light. If we are walking in our purpose, it keeps us from getting distracted. It keeps us
Mm-hmm.
from getting tied up with all the other things, because the journey can be so rough. We can end up all over the place. But when we are able to really just check things, do a counter check to make sure that it fits within our purpose, it really helps us to really stay on track and to make sure that we are not allowing these distractions to lead us. You just mentioned, Yashica, about, when you allow things to control you, you suddenly find yourself out of control. So thank you for
Absolutely.
pointing that out.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, sometimes you don't even know it. I heard a quote over the weekend. It said, how can you remove yourself from a prison when you don't even know you're in one? And sometimes our actual life can be designed that way. We're actually in the prison that we don't even know we're in, because we think it's normal, but it's actually abnormal and it's wearing us down. But you talked about purpose. Well, one thing I wanted to ask you about is on the purpose side of it, because like I said, I'm very transparent. I'd like to get to the other side of things. But everybody don't necessarily operate in their purpose because they don't really know their purpose. So what do you tell that person? What do they do? How do they know? Because again, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Right. And to be honest with you, Shika, that is not a rare occasion. That's pretty regular that people find themselves just functioning, going through day to day life, walking the journey out, and not knowing what their true purpose is. And we have to be able to ask ourselves the questions. And those questions are, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I here? What on earth am I on this earth for? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my calling? And the only person who can answer that for you is your creator. So the very first step is to get close to the manufacturer. The manufacturer is the one who creates you. He's the one who writes the manual, who writes the
Mm-hmm.
book and tells you what your job description is. So the best way to do that is to spend some time really nurturing that relationship with your creator. And when you have that opportunity, things will really begin to open up to you. But one of the first things that we must do, which goes back to what we were just saying, is spend some quiet time, some downtime, relaxing, sit still, get somewhere and sit down and just
Mm-hmm.
really focus on hearing what the universe is saying to you. When we pray, we are praying to the universe, but when we meditate, we're actually listening to the
Listen.
universe to find out
Mm-hmm.
what we are supposed to be doing and how we are supposed to be doing it. One of the things that I often pray for is, God, please order my steps. Help me to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, when
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be doing it, and how I'm supposed to be doing it. Now, it's not up to us to figure out how this whole thing is going to come into place.
Mm-hmm.
He already has a plan for us. The creator tells us in in my favorite book that he is in charge of our plan, and he has plans to prosper us and to make us really abundant if we do what we are supposed to do. And what we are supposed to do is to get close to him and to have those necessary conversations. So I would say that given the fact that we are talking about conversations for the soul,
Yep.
that's where we must begin. The
Mm-hmm.
conversations for the soul. And you have to really get honest with yourself and really spend some time getting to know yourself. So often we're running around. We don't know where we're going, what we're doing. We're just getting things. We're just moving. And one of your favorite sayings that I hear you say is, are you in motion or are you in action? Is
Mm-hmm.
that how you say it?
Yep, motion or action.
Yeah.
Motion is you're stuck in your mind. You're thinking it out, but actions you're actually doing it. But one thing I do want to say too on that purpose level and listening and to the Lord. I mean the meditation. Also, we have to be aware of distractions because distractions do disguise themselves as purpose. But if you really haven't had an opportunity to really dig deep, because we can make things what we want them, and that's it.
Absolutely.
We can make any opportunity a blessing if that's what we want.
Because it's comfortable. And see,
Yes.
we like to be comfortable. We don't
Mm-hmm.
like to be uncomfortable. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens in being uncomfortable. We have to be willing to step out of our comfort zone in order to grow, in order to uncover that purpose and walk in that purpose. We've got to be
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. That's the whole point of having the umbrella of purpose. The umbrella of purpose will protect you, but you've got to be willing to go into the storm. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to do what it takes to
Do the
uncover
work.
that purpose. Absolutely. Do the work. And I say, a lot of people say, I'm still trying to find my purpose. I'm still trying to figure out my purpose. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're not trying to find your purpose. Your purpose is not lost. Your purpose is where it's
Mm.
always been. Your purpose is in you. It was given to you at the time, even prior to you being conceived. You were
Wow.
conceived because of your purpose. So
Wow.
let's not say that we're trying to find our purpose. We're
Mm-hmm.
actually trying to uncover and unveil and claim our purpose.
Oh
And
wow. So basically,
go
we are getting to the place where we're trying to operate in our purpose. Wow,
absolutely.
that was good because I know that distractions can come at you left and right. And when we talking about being uncomfortable, I'm always at one to throw that transparent thing in there because we are comfortable, but we have to get uncomfortable because Dr. Angie and I, we have so many likenesses that we, because even like doing stuff like tonight, because we were both in a different space, but we were
Yes.
able to come together and talk about it and realize something that we were comfortable being who we are, doing what we're doing, but we have a higher and greater purpose and calling. So with that being said, we have to push past our paradigm and shift. It means that we have to push each other past and get on here tonight, even though
Yeah.
we both feeling like, well, you know what? I don't know, but we had to shake that. We had to shake that. What can we call it? What can we give that name? That paradigm of comfort.
Yes.
We
Yes.
had to shake him out. We had to dust him out and ring him out and all kind of stuff, and then just get on here and just talk and talk
And,
and just talk it
and
out. And we didn't even really have a topic, but it's amazing how it's flowing because obviously we may not have had a topic, but he had a topic
yes,
because
the
the
universe had that
conversation is just
topic.
really. Hmm.
I say absolutely. When we are obedient,
Right.
the creator will make sure that he provides the way, that he gives us what we need
Right.
when we need it. And he
Absolutely.
is a very on time God. He will never, ever leave you out there by yourself
Hmm.
as long as you nurture that relationship. It's important. You
It's
know,
very important.
we hear those words all the time, but do we really understand them? He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do we
Hmm.
understand what that means? A lot of us don't.
Explain it to us. Let.
Yeah. So when he says that he will never leave you nor forsake you, what he means is he's not going to in our everyday vernacular, he's not going to put you out there and leave you out there.
Uh-huh.
You may feel like, oh, I'm all by myself. But if you get quiet, like we were just talking about, and you just listen, you'll hear that he is right there with you. And just like we as parents, we sometimes put on that convenient, I didn't hear you. You know, that convenient ignore somebody,
Yes,
because
that
you
works.
just don't feel like dealing with it at that particular second.
Uh-huh.
So you just, in your own mind, it just seems like you didn't hear him, but you did hear him. But and my kids accuse me of that all the time. But the thing about it is, that's how he does us sometimes, because as parents, sometimes we have to act like we don't hear what's going on so that we can get our thoughts together and figure out what the game plan is before we respond, because we don't want to react. We want to respond. So God does that too. He is there, and he's just sitting there waiting to see if you're going to say, if you're going to invite him in, if you're
Right.
going to say to him, hey, I'm having a moment right now. I need you. And one of the things that you said to me when we talked earlier today, you said sometimes we just have to push through whether we feel like it or
Or
not.
not.
And that is so true. We
Mm-hmm.
must push through and press on. I did want to holler at, I see we have a couple of people on with us. Hello there, Miss Pele Honkin. We see you. We see you, Dr. Gray. Thank you for joining us. And Pratibha, thank you. Nikoria, thank you for joining us. So we always want to try to give people a shout out, because we know that time is valuable and we appreciate your time. We never ever want to just be selfish and take your time and not give you the appropriate gratitude and appreciation for taking that time out with us. So hello, Miss Nikoria. All right.
Yeah, I was looking to the side because I was also so I just put my phone up so I can see the comments that's coming in. And I was actually looking at myself, I look at these bags on myself, Lord, I need help. You see this?
Oh, girl. Look, my bags are carrying bags. So
I'm like, good Lord. I said, Lord, help me because I need some help right about here. I'm looking all plump. So you said
I know what you mean, girl. Look, I got makeup on and still can see the bags. So there's some deep bags. Like I said, those bags are carrying bags. So
yes, because I was like, okay, so you know what? I'm going to be very open. I said, I'm not even. I just threw on some lip gloss. I said, let me get on this thing. Let me come on because I knew I had to shift, Angie. I knew I had to shift, pivot, and move because I know me. I can get in my chair in my room and I'm just as content and just sitting there. But when the spirit pulled you and moved you, I didn't have a choice. And so now look at it. We up here and because it's more to it's just more to us than meets the eye. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to
yeah,
do for the kingdom, and I think feel like today's show we maybe like shifting a little bit into maybe its purpose, you know,
yes,
more of a purpose for it because whew, I'm telling you, we have to pull together. It's so much going on nowadays, so it's like wow, you walking by yourself, no, you can't. You have to pull
absolutely.
and lean to the quality people that can help elevate and motivate you out of your own funk because two of us in the funk, we ain't gonna solve nothing that way.
That's so true. And then the thing about it is, when we travel, it takes
Mm-hmm.
something out of us. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm not as nearly as able to bounce back after traveling as I used to be. It's not as
Mm-hmm.
quick. It takes me a couple of days to get myself together. So both of us have been pretty active in terms of traveling, getting
Yes.
around and taking care of
Mm-hmm.
business and doing what we have to do. But it
Mm-hmm.
does take a toll. So I want to acknowledge that too. And I know you just came back from a nice trip, and you want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that real quick?
Yes, I was in Indiana for a few days, and and again, I fought that one too. Tooth and nails. Like you know what, I wanted to go, didn't want to go. I see some things differently as far as I'm always about multiple streams of income, always about learning, and I felt like I had a bubble or a balloon, and my air had let out. My air was like going out, and so at the last minute, I made a decision to go ahead and fly to elevate myself, to put myself in the atmosphere of people who are like-minded, where I want to go. You know, you have to put yourself where you can see people, where you could touch, and you know, instead of going sideways, you got to go up. Sometimes you got to elevate
Right.
yourself, and so
And
that's
speak
what I
those
did.
things that are
Huh?
not as speak those things that are not as though they are. Because
Yes,
when
absolutely.
we do that, we have to get into, we don't want to ever be the smartest one in the room. And we don't ever want to be the one who has achieved the most in the room. We want to
Absolutely.
be among people who are going to edify us and lift us up and help us to grow. So thank you
Look,
for
Angie.
pointing that out. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off there.
listen, I ain't want to be the oldest one in the room either.
How about, how funny is that? I was recently in a group of women on a different platform, different situation, and my lovely husband came in. He said, I'm looking at everybody on your screen. You're the youngest one in there. I was like, oh, well, all right. So, but you do get a chance to see all of the wisdom in front of you. So there's value in being the oldest, there's value in being the youngest, there's value in being in the middle, because you get a chance to see and feel both. So we just have to be honest with ourselves. We're in a fluid situation. We're always going to be in situations. And this, my crazy husband told me about, he's laughing at me because I was with a group of women. It's been a few months ago now. And, you know, I'm only 5'2". So in this particular group of women, there was like 6 of us, and I was the tallest. He said, in here looking like Shaq.
Oh, wait a minute. 5'2" and you were the tallest. Okay.
I was the tallest. So we have pictures to show, and he was just laughing at every time he gets a chance. He talks about me being Shaq. He was like, yeah, you were Shaq that day.
Man, that is something. But listen, Angie, I'm just 46 years young, and here I am. Well, me and my sister was there, but yet we were the oldest ones there, with the exception of the CEO when he showed up in the room. But however, the ghost, he busy. You know, because I hear something, I was like, okay, all right. So what I took away, one of the things that I took away is when I talk about being coachable. And are you coachable? Because at the end of the day, we think that because we are the oldest, sometimes that we have the wisdom, we have the know-how, we have the knowledge, but being in a position that where I needed to be quiet and listen. Because the younger group, they had some stuff going on. They were places that I hadn't been at a younger age. So it was very let me see, humbling to me to be quiet, because I wasn't the smartest one in the room. And I wasn't, by being the oldest one, I was not, and that was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling
Absolutely.
not to be
Love
the smartest one, and to be in a room among 23, 24-year-old six figures earners and
Right.
plus, you know. And then, oh my gosh, just in that little intimate setting for breakfast, and to be able to listen to that, to the way they brainstorm and they talk about business. And that's what I like, because sometimes we need to shut down the noise when we're trying to reach things, and to listen to one of the leaders who's only 30 years old talk about that he was doing something, and he had a team, and they were all in his apartment. And then you had those who thought this was a time to come and play and drink, and he just politely asked them to leave, and they thought he was joking. And he says, no, it's time for it. It's plenty of time for that. Right now, we're on a mission. So he said it was like 10, 15 people. And, you know, some of the ones that were not serious, they had to leave. He was dead serious. And they was like, man,
I like
he's
that.
30 now, but this is like
love
5 or 6 years ago. And he said, no, I'm trying to achieve something. And that's not achievable right there, what you're doing. So I said, wow. And that's like, I said, that's
It's got to
pretty
be
good.
valuable. It's got to be worthwhile. And, you know, people always tell me they want to chill and they want to relax, and they want to take it down, and they want to, Steve Harvey speaks on this, and he says, yeah, if you always gotta take a smoke break and have a drink and He said, that's not getting you where you need to be. That's
Mm-hmm.
taking you further away from where you need to be. And I tell you, it's
Procrastinating the
true.
process.
It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to rest, but you need to be doing something before you start talking about you got to chill and take it down.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be doing something to show for yourself before you start hollering you need to take it down. But
Yes, absolutely. And
it's a
again,
delicate balance. It
yes.
definitely is a delicate balance. Because I don't want it to sound contradictory. Because on one hand, we say self care, take care of yourself, chill, relax, and then on the other hand, we're saying, too much of that is not good. So I want to make it very clear that that's not a contradictory statement. There is a delicate balance, and we need to be in alignment with whatever our goals are. And how do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
How do we make sure we are in alignment? Write it down, make it plain, etch it on your heart, on your mind, but more importantly than that, etch it on a piece of paper and sit there. And when you find yourself just relaxing and chilling, take out that piece of paper and look at it. Because guess what? As you are reviewing that piece of paper, you're going to say to yourself, "Ooh, I should have done X, Y, and Z today. Let me get up and do that right now."
It's not unnecessarily contradicting, because when you think about it, you're just focused.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have 8 hours in a day that you dedicate to your mission, you're going to make those 8 productive hours. So
Absolutely.
therefore, on that 9th hour, that's your self-care hour. You know what I mean? Or
Yes,
that
yes,
10th hour. So, it's just a way you write a delicate balance. But if we get to the place where say, you know what, it's a mission and I got to get there, but I do know I have to take care of myself in between, because we can't run 24, 48, 72 hours straight, which actually we can, because I've done it. And we've also done it in the military, but we can't actually survive it and work off of that. But
that's
at the
not
end of the day,
sustainable.
yeah, you don't want to do this. That's not something we're going to be doing all the time.
Right, right.
You don't want to do that all the time. So you're right. You take it and you write it down. Because I was just telling a friend of mine that says, I don't know what to do. I said, well, start off with he said we used to recruit, and he says, so you telling me to get a planning guide? Because in recruiting, we used to have literally a planning guide that had all of our day. We had to write out our day. So if anybody in higher command looked at it, because it was digital, looked at it, and they could tell where we were by what our planning guide said. And I said, you know what, sometimes what I was thinking about was, we have to go back to the basics of that too, where if we're missing time, we might need to print out a calendar in 30-minute increments. And on that first
Yes,
day, we need to write down what we're doing, and then look
yes,
at it at the end of the night and see where we can eliminate wasted time and where we can put productive something in there.
yes.
And I think about it too, because like I told you, I can get in my chair literally like today and just sat there. Now, it wasn't productive, but when I was doing my little Canva thing, I thought it was productive, but it was all about ghosts. So that didn't make me money.
A
That
little
wasn't a
bit,
money making move.
see? And you said something earlier that I think is very important for us to highlight. You said that distraction can disguise itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so true. So
Yep.
while you were sitting there making that post about ghosts, might have been
Yeah.
a little bit of a distraction
Yeah.
disguised
And
as
here I can
doing
look.
something productive.
And listen,
So,
and remember, I also said that we can make it what we want to make it. Because here I
yes.
go justifying it. Ghost got fans. That's what I said. That's how I justify myself. Ghost has fans.
Absolutely. Real quick, let's holler at a couple people. Rodriguez Judelka.
Judeka.
Yep, he said that you look beautiful. And Pele, it was cracking me up. She said she laughing her behind off because she said, I guess we all have some bags that are carrying bags. And then Cheryl Dickinson, I'm not sure what she was responding to, but something that you said, she said, and I
I
think
wasn't gonna say
that came up when
she,
you said about the lip gloss in the bag. Yeah, I
and
think so.
the puffiness. Because I'm looking at myself on the screen like, good gracious. I mean, I put a whole finger in there. Like, what the world?
And then Kohler says, hello, how are you? All
Hey,
that good
Joe. Oh
stuff.
my gosh, Angie. Oh my goodness. Okay, off subject for a second. Joe spoke yesterday at the Power Summit 5, Les Brown's Power Summit 5. And I'm just saying, I'm always joking about or teasing about his voice, like his voice. It is what it is. Just don't listen to his voice. If you're resting, that voice is just so soothing. But he was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry,
Very
PowerPoint
nice.
6. Yes,
Power
it's a
Voice
6.
6.
That's the
Yes.
last on the 5th. There was a 6 PowerPoint. So yeah, the last one. But that was an honor for him to be. I mean, we have to go back and listen to it, Angie, because he did phenomenal. He was awesome. He really was.
Nice. Amazing, Joe. You did a fantastic job. We are so proud of you.
We have to bring him on. When we have a show about I would say surviving death, when death hits you in the face, because his speech was, I mean, it was right there. He said something that was really awakening, because he said he almost died to wake up in a sense.
Wow.
He
Hmm.
had to be faced with death in order to wake up. That was powerful, because think of how
That's
many
powerful.
people do not get that um warning, in a sense.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And then then some people who get the warning and don't heed the warning and don't do
Right.
anything different with their life and make their life about a purpose. Because if he spared you, he had a reason to spare you, because you have work to do. But some people don't recognize it because they're too busy in the distractions and all that other stuff. I'm not getting ready to get on my soapbox, but hey, it is what it is. But it was a very, very powerful speech that he gave. Interesting.
Nice. And I have to say, I have had a couple of near death experiences myself, and it really does change your trajectory.
You know,
Once you experience that that you have that near death experience, it
mm-hmm,
changes the way you look at things. It
mm-hmm,
changes your perspective. It changes what matters. And, that's actually a very known scientific phenomenon about people who have near death experiences and how it changes the course of their life. So,
hold up, wait a minute. I gotta. What you say? Okay. Hey, Angie. Okay. God just texted me. He said because he couldn't take you because you hadn't met me yet.
what?
He said you had work to do because you had to mentor me.
I had to work with you. Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. That's why he said you just had near death, so you get prepared for this one. This.
That's funny. You are a piece of work, girl. But
Yeah.
anyhow, we are here for each other, so that's a good thing. We get a chance to really help each other grow and
Mm-hmm.
mature, and having different perspectives. We're kind of yin and yang, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We see things differently, but the good
Mm-hmm.
thing is, at the end of the day, we are women. We are women who are mothers. We are women who are working professionals and entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and we function wearing a lot of different hats. So at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, you're going to have some experiences that are going to help me and that you
Mm-hmm.
can teach me, and vice versa. I'm going to have some that I can teach you and help you with. And that's just like, that's why we have to make sure that we spend some time with other
Mm-hmm.
people, other masterminds, so to speak. We have to do that. What is going on? Is Ghost having a problem out there?
Yeah, he done found his ball. He throwing that ball up. Listen, yeah, off subject. Okay, so Ghost destroyed. He loves balls, but he destroys them. This ball cost me $20, and it's this big. And like a baseball. And they told me that it's not destroyable. I said, y'all don't know Ghost. So
Mm,
anyway, he's actually had his ball for about 2.5 weeks now, but he's working with it, and he hadn't broken it just yet, but he's coming. I mean, but he's working with it. That's what he's doing. He's tossing it, and then it's just like a herd of cattle. Oh, before I lose my chain of thought, I wanted to ask the guests. I see we got quite a few, like Cheryl Dickinson. I know that she has a nonprofit that she's very, very active in. If you could please drop the information in the comments, share, because I don't know it all. Know the but I think it's with teenagers or with girls. I'm not quite sure the information about your nonprofit, and also Joe also is doing some things. You could drop your link in there just so we can and Dr. Gray, I know he has. Is he doing his academy? But Dr. Gray can drop his link in the comments. So just so
yes.
people can know what you're doing, because we can't shout everybody out at once, but we're not the platform that we like to help each other. So we're that platform. So just put your links in there and in the comments so other people can see it. And then we'll try to, if we know about it, we'll try to shout it out. But if we don't, then we're just going to ask you to do such. And I did see a couple of them. I see Pele up in there, and Pele. Oh, and Dr. Andy Pele made a money cake. Yes, money cake.
I
And if
saw
any of
the
my,
picture. That was beautiful.
wasn't it? Oh man. So I just want to let our audience know, if any of you want to reach out to PeleInspired.com and order a money cake for Dr. Angie and I, you sure can. And we will definitely split the funds on the cake amongst each other for Conversations for the Soul. We just want y'all to know that.
Absolutely. I love that, Sheikah B. I love it. That's why you are the motivator. That's right. Motivate the people buys
Absolutely.
the cake. Pele, make sure you
Absolutely.
put your information in the chat box, sweetheart. She says, I am forever grateful for you both, and we are certainly grateful for you. So please make sure you drop that information into the chat box. I see Cheryl has actually done it. Let me pull her information over. And brought the wrong one over.
Youth Tower serving homeless population.
Youth Tower serving the homeless population in
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Alabama.
You guys getting fancy with your South Carolina stuff. Okay.
That's Alabama. We're from Alabama.
Okay. All right, your South Kakalaki.
No, that's Alabama.
Oh.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, yes. But I was saying that I'm talking about your vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
Your South Kakalaki is one of them, and Birmingham, Beham is one of them. So you got some pretty neat stuff in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at Joe real quick. He says free gratitude journal and best version of You Will, and that's at www.joekohler. I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Kohler or Kohler? But anyway, joekohler.com. So please check him out. Absolutely. And then Pele says, yes, South Kakalaki.
Pele, put a picture of one of your cakes down there in the comments. And somebody that has written 2 books and has not done a book launch, but she's phenomenal. And I don't want to just put her on blast or throw her under the bus, but I'm going to ride over. Y'all felt it? So I kind of threw her under the bus. It's Dr. Angie. She has 2 books out there, y'all, that she has not. She's doing a series of them. So if she does not mind, will you please tell us about your books?
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that right now. But I'm doing a series, and each series is on a different particular topic. This one is One Good Sip at a Time, 7 Guiding Principles for Spiritual Growth.
Oh, yay.
This one is...
Oh, yay. I can hear all that. Will you bring me a book? Huh?
Mute yourself.
Did I not mute myself?
You did not mute yourself.
I'm sorry. I thought I muted. Did I mute it? I didn't.
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine. She got it now. But I thought I did. You know what? I may have.
This one is also part of the series, One Good Sip at a Time. And it is the guiding principles for claiming your purpose. And I'm so very excited about this one because the world-renowned Les Brown wrote the foreword for this one. So I am ecstatic about that. And I know that you will enjoy reading it. I felt like he was writing a new book with the foreword that he wrote because it was very detailed, very intricate. And I just love Mr. Brown. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for doing the foreword for this book. And both of them are available through Amazon as well. So that's a good thing. And then go ahead. You have yours up?
No, actually, nope, because I was asking her to bring me one real quick because I wasn't even going to put my own stuff on the spot. But that's okay because I thought I muted myself. So I think I muted myself on a computer but left it up on my phone. Well, y'all, you know what, y'all? Hey. Hey, we're live. We're live. We get to hear the dishes in there. We get to hear Ghost throwing up in his ball and me yelling like I'm back in the day. Do you remember when your mom used to call you, stand on the porch to call you, tell you to come in? I was just acting like I'm back in the day. TV. You go right there.
Or go get her a drink. You got to come in from outside to go get a drink of water.
I remember that. I had an auntie. Oh my gosh, we would literally be down the street and she would call my cousin to come in the house and bring her a cup of water. I said, "Oh my Lord." Woo, these kids don't know how good they have it these days. We were some workers.
Indeed. That's so funny.
In the,
Oh, I lost this thing. I can't find it to take it
box.
off this. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Huh? So
That's it.
yeah, so I remember them days. So, but that was a good old time. They don't know about that, and I guess Patty and probably just got in the tree because she's always climbing a tree. That's just yeah. But she was trying to get it, but I would have to get off screen to find it real quick. Oh yeah, she's got it. But anyway, and do we have? I know Dr. John wasn't feeling well. We don't have his. Well, did he put anything in the bottom about the academy though? About his mentorship. Thank you.
Yes, I. Hopefully he can hear us.
Here's mine.
Yes, tilt it down a little bit so we can get the glare off of. There you go. Not that far. Bring it back a little bit. Oh, stop it. There you go. And mother's love, test it. Why not me? Yashica B. Love it.
Absolutely.
So what's that about?
That one is just what it says on the cover. Mother's love test. It's a mother's testimony about her and her children, her 2 children, 1 daughter and 1 son. So it's kind of like a twist up in there how things happen. But I don't want to give it all away. I do want to say this, that I thought about something. I'm glad you asked, but I'm going to go offline again. I was actually thinking about a mother's love tested because I always say to people to know the signs and symptoms of mental illness, like the signs and symptoms of drug abuse, right? But I thought about something else that our communities do, that we're welcoming. If we have the family barbecue or the birthday parties, we are welcoming for the known drunks. We don't mind sending them an invite out, but if we know of someone that has a mental illness, we kind of want to shy away from that. But I think that's kind of we need to work on that and change that, because at the end of the day, I mean, and I just realized that looking back at life, we have done that. We don't mind the neighborhood drunk to come to our party. We would help them get there so they could entertain us. But we're shy away from that 1 or 2 that we know that's suffering from a mental illness.
They're a little touched. We introduce it. We whispering, oh, they just a little touched.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation that we really need to have. The conversation about the stigma of mental illness
in our community.
Yes, because we like to poo-poo that, and we like to disregard them as people. They're still humans, even if they have a mental illness. That doesn't make them less than. We're doing just as bad as when racism strikes us and they act like Black people are less than. Well, we do it in our own communities when people when they're suffering from a mental illness. They just a little touched. That's not cool. We have to move away from the stigma of just really not having the conversation, ignoring mental illness. It's a real thing, and it's no different than if you have a heart attack or a stroke or you're a birth defect, whatever it is, whatever your disability is. It's a disability that we don't necessarily deal with appropriately, but we need to really start doing that and stop making people feel bad because they're struggling with a condition. It's a condition. It's not who they are. It doesn't make them less than. We just really need to focus on doing that. That's a good topic for another day. She could be for us to have a conversation about that.
Absolutely. I agree. I do agree. Because, looking back over life, we all have, if it's not even, just call them out. We have somebody in our family who's an alcoholic. We have somebody in our family who's been on drugs. We have somebody in our family who is gay or lesbian or the alphabet. We have somebody in our family who suffers from a mental illness. We have somebody in our family who's overweight. We have somebody in our family who talk too much.
Or gamble too much, or spend too much money, or buy too many shoes.
look, or either somebody who's a thief that you got to make sure you put your stuff. We have these things in our families, and that makes us a family, unique, different.
Absolutely.
So that makes us. Hey, that makes us who we are. Honestly, it's who we are. So therefore, with that being said, all those elements that make up a family, we still can survive. We just have to be accepting How much is too much? How much is too much what? That's what Joe said. How much is too much?
Yeah, he'll
Can
give
you
us some
clarify that?
clarification there in a couple seconds, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, Angie, we're already up on 45 minutes. It didn't take long for us running our mouths, so yakking. So,
Yes.
so
So it is, we are coming.
I'm just looking at my face. My face looks like it is huge. Or is
Oh
that my
my
computer?
goodness.
Look, I switched computers, so maybe I need to get back on the other computer because something going on
Maybe
with this one.
maybe you're too close to the camera.
Look,
That might be, yeah, that's what it is. Too close to the camera.
look, and I'm looking like, no, I back here, I look the same. Look at that. That's why, guess what I'm doing? Back in the gym, that's me.
Uh-huh. Too much of all you were saying, especially
Yes.
talking in our case.
In our case, yeah, too much of everything in the families. We just know we just have a limit of everything. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So,
Yes.
but yes, we were talking about self-care earlier, but the whole conversation basically is on self-care and a holistically. And I say holistic as in WHOL because I'm believing fixing yourself from the inside out, and inside out and all around, meaning every aspect of yourself to holistically heal and fix and do better. The whole you, the whole self. So with that being said, I started working out again because somebody went to the doctor, that would be me, and my pressure was up. Well, she could be. You take high blood pressure. Yeah, I do. I know that. I take high blood pressure pills, and my pressure was still up. So that means when
Mm.
somebody,
You didn't tell me that.
well, I'm telling you now.
Huh?
So with that being said, somebody needed to do a little self-checking on her own self and hold her own self accountable. And I figured one thing when I was starting to make my posts on social media, because we use social media for everything else, lying and going on. So why not use it to hold your own self accountable? So that's what I decided to do. I said, he mad because he can't find his ball. So I decided.
Ghost is a piece of work.
Yes, because he kind of crying because the ball has gone up under something that he can't reach it. So I thought he was behind me. So anyway, sorry guys. So I decided to take my own health in my own hands and hold my own self accountable, not asking for the accountability part, but make myself accountable. Just like we put our relationships on Facebook and then they fall off, we want to know what happened. I figured the same thing happened with my working out. So if I just so y'all be asking me, so what happened? I thought you was in the gym. So I'm on day 5. I didn't post day 5. Day 5 is with my trainer. I'm doing a 30-day. This is ridiculous. I'm doing a 30-day challenge for myself, and my 30 days are not right behind each other because my coach, he works me out so hard that he tells me in between I need a rest. So I'm on day 5 with that. So I do have my little thing that I'm gonna post. But I also heard that my co-host has been getting up at 4:30 because she's been inspiring somebody else in her household who did a whole live walk-in talking about somebody getting up at 4:30 and looking great. I ain't calling Dr. Angie great name, but that's who I heard that also has taken it upon herself to do some things
I'm gonna
different.
get both of you for calling me out, because then when I get ready to fall off and not do it anymore, then oh man, then you're gonna have people looking at me.
That's right. That's what we want. We want to be looking at you. We want to be texting you. We want
That's
to
what
inbox
that
you. We want to do it
accountability is
all.
all about, right? That's what the whole
Yes.
accountability piece means, right?
Yep.
But I do want to say this about your blood pressure. We want to make sure that we are taking some apple cider vinegar. That's the raw, unfiltered one. Do that daily. I put it in my tea, so I drink tea, and I put tablespoon at least a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in there, and they say that helps miracles. I mean it helps a lot. And then also you want to make sure that you're keeping up with your water. You have to stay hydrated. Make sure you are drinking your water on a daily basis. And one of the things that I recently started doing, I go back and forth with it. Sometimes when I'm not feeling particularly lazy, I actually forget what it's called. I put I make my water infused. I put the cucumber in there and the strawberries and the kiwi and the the various fruits or whatever. This particular one that I have right now has lemon in it, lime in it, cucumber, and orange. So as I cut up those things and put them in the water, and then I just, every day just drink a gallon of that water, 64 ounces of that water, and it really has made a difference. It's helped with my skin. It's
Mm-hmm.
helped with, if you notice, I'm a little thinner now than
No, I didn't notice
I
that
had
because
been.
I'm puffy.
So it really helps, and it's subtle. It's not one of those things where you have to work real hard because it tastes good,
Mm-hmm.
and drink warm lemon water as the very first thing you put in your stomach in the morning. You should put some warm lemon water. Drink some warm lemon water. So actual fresh lemon, cut that up, squeeze it in your warm water, and it shouldn't be real hot. I'm not sure why, but they say that it shouldn't be like hot, like tea hot, but just make it.
Like
um
room temperature.
no, not room temperature. Room temperature is too cool. Just
Too
kind of
cool?
in between room temperature and hot. That
Okay.
that middle ground where you can drink without blowing it.
Right. Okay.
And they say
Yeah, because
that really helps with your metabolism. So I've been doing that now for, I want to say, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks now.
oh, look at you. Didn't
Drinking.
even tell nobody.
Yeah.
Because what you
I,
lost, I done picked up. See?
yeah. Sorry about that, girl. But I run another mastermind, Mindset Matters Mastermind, and we talk
Mm-hmm.
about those things. And sometimes I'm telling them, and I'm talking with them or whatever, and I forget that I haven't said it to you. I'm thinking that I said it, but so my apologies. I'm sorry.
That's okay because we got to start somewhere and
Yes.
someday. Yes, and I have all this stuff in there because I was even like telling Joe that my energy was down, and he gave me another one, just similar to what you're saying to drink with lemon and cucumber and ginger, and it was one more ingredient that he told me, mint, and I have my mint is just all over the place in the back, and to sit it in the refrigerator and drink that, and that'll help me with my energy, and that's all natural as well. And so definitely gonna implement all this stuff because I don't like the way I look right here. I don't like that. And that's got something to do with my pressure and my whatever's going on with me. Probably not
Have you had
inflamed
a
a little
lot of
bit.
salt? Might be salt.
Yeah, probably so. Cause
Mm.
I have gulped down this water through this what is it, a 32 ounce? So I've drank it all. So my body's asking for water.
Yeah, watch the salt intake, watch the sugar intake, and really just stay hydrated. That's the important things. So, Shika
Absolutely.
B, we have come to that point in our show where it is now 7:54. So it's time for us to wrap it up. I want to give you an opportunity to close it out as you always do.
I will close it out simple today, guys. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking and sharing. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being who you are. Remember that each day, each minute is new and it accounts for something different, and do something different than we did yesterday or the day before. Make a difference in somebody's life. Tell somebody that you like them. Tell somebody that you love them. Hug somebody. Smile at somebody. Let's spread more of that in the world today because right now and in the past we have been so eager to be mean. So let's be eager to be happy and eager to spread love. And let's just not talk about it. Let's be about it. And remember, you do not have to tear down anyone's kingdom while building your empire because it is, I'm laughing also, because there's plenty of room at the top. It's the bottom that's crowded. So with that being said, I will see all of you at the TOP. And remember, do something different today, tomorrow.
Love that, Shika B. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for your comments. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. All of those things matter to us. Thank you for putting your comments in the chat. We really appreciate you because without you, our audience, without getting your feedback and really having some conversation and some dialogue, it would just be Shika B and I doing a Zoom call. So thank you for taking care of us the way that you do. We appreciate you. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. And may everything be for a reason and a season and for a purpose. Shika B, I think we touched on purpose today, but I think we need to do a little bit more on that at another time. So Stay tuned
Absolutely.
for that. Stay tuned for us to have a real serious conversation and discussion about purpose, helping people to uncover and claim their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Good night, everybody.